If you're visiting London for at least 3 days, these are, in my opinion, the things that you must do while you're here. And by the way, if you're new here, I'm Jess and I make videos for people who are coming to visit London. First off, start with the London classics. Even if you're one of those people that wants to get more off the beaten path when you're in London, I think everybody still wants to at least see some of those most famous attractions like the London Eye and Tower Bridge. They are absolutely amazing to see from the outside. If you're on a budget, even just seeing them from the outside is great, or of course you can purchase tickets and go into almost anything that is around the city. One of my favorite British traditions is afternoon tea, so I would definitely try to take it while you're in London. Afternoon tea consists of, well, obviously you get your choice of hot tea, but you'll also get 3 tiers of snacks and treats, starting with sandwiches, usually at the bottom of the tiered tray. Then you'll get nice hot scones with cream and jam in the middle, and on the top will be your sweet treats. It's really fun and also very filling, so do not eat before or after you have afternoon tea. There are options all around London for getting tea for all types of budgets, and there's also lots of themed ones, so if you want to do something a little bit different, then you'll be able to find something that you'll love. If you're into museums, London has tons of them, and the great part about this city is that lots of them have free entrance. If you like modern art, I would recommend trying out the Tate Modern, or if you like artwork that's a bit older, there's also the National Portrait Gallery, which is in Trafalgar Square. People who love history usually end up loving the Churchill War Rooms, and there are tons of smaller niche museums like the Photography Gallery. London has tons of great markets. You'll definitely want to visit one while you're here. Borough Market, of course, is the most famous one. It's definitely worth a visit, but there's plenty of other smaller food and drink. Now, there are plenty of other markets. I would recommend checking out Maltby. Okay. Borough Market is, of course, the most famous market in London. It's definitely worth a visit, but there are plenty of other smaller ones that are worth a visit too. A couple of my favorites include Maltby Street Market, which is located in Bermondsey, and also Old Spitalfields Market, which is in Spitalfields. London skyline is absolutely beautiful, so I would definitely recommend heading to one of the city's many viewpoints so you can see it from above. The most famous viewpoints in the city include places like the London Eye and of course the Shard, which is the tallest viewing point in the EU. But there are plenty of alternatives. The Tate Modern actually has a free viewing platform on the 10th floor, and the Sky Garden is another beautiful option for a great view over the city. Of course, those 2 places aren't as high as the Shard, but they're still fantastic and they're free to visit. People who visit London are always surprised at how green the city is, and Londoners are so good at taking advantage of all the green spaces here, even when the weather isn't as good. So even if you're here in the winter and you get a cloudy or a rainy day, definitely check out one of the parks here. A couple of suggestions from me is St. James's Park, which is the one that we're in right now and is not far from Buckingham Palace and Horse Guards Parade. And there's also the Victoria Tower Gardens, which is one that people don't ever usually see, even though it's right next to the Houses of Parliament, but it's a great place to sit and relax, and also it has a nice view of the London Eye. If you want to go shopping while you're in London and pick up some good souvenirs, then there are plenty of options in the city. If you want to shop local and boutique, there's a great alternative souvenir store that I love called We Built This City. That's a great option. Or if you want, you can go to one of the many famous department stores we have here, like Liberty London and Selfridges, and pick up something special from one of those places. Finally, if you love vintage, you'll want to go to the East End of London, where you will find tons of great vintage shops. Now that you know everything you should do when you are in London, if you're struggling to put it all together into a cohesive itinerary, then have a look at my 3-day London itinerary. It has your entire first 3 days in London completely planned for you. You can find out more about that by clicking the card that's popping up in the corner there. And for more tips for your trip to London, I have lots of other videos you should watch. You can click the one popping up below me for much more information. But there are lots of